Welcome to the Agile Engineering Deep Dive. My name is Alessandro Guida, and in this episode I revisit some of the lean tools I first learned through the Toyota way. Tools that have stayed with me throughout my career in software engineering. We'll look at why practices like value stream mapping, visual management, Kanban, Kaizen, and the 5 whys fit so naturally with Agile engineering, and how they help teams improve flow, reduce waste, and build real organizational capability. This episode is not about adding more process. It's about making work visible, decisions simpler, and improvement part of everyday engineering. Let's dive in.
The deep dive is back, and today we're taking a stack of sources on a management philosophy that sounds like it should be locked away in a 1980s factory.
It does have that reputation.
But we're going to prove it's maybe the ultimate accelerator for modern R&D. We're talking about lean thinking.
That's right.
It turns out the principles and these really simple tools used to build a reliable Toyota sedan are precisely what engineering teams need to deliver complex, high-quality code faster, especially in an agile environment.
And that's the core of our deep dive today. We aren't here for a history lesson,
No.
The mission is purely pragmatic. We want to extract 5 powerful, incredibly easy to use tools that should be mandatory in every manager's technical toolbox.
Okay.
We've synthesized insights from professionals who not only mastered lean in its purest form, the Toyota way, but who successfully translated those lessons into modern technical practices and really complex organizations.
Yeah, what's fascinating is how these lean concepts, they don't replace agile. They just seem to turbocharge it.
They turbocharge it. That's the perfect word.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Before we get to the tools, we probably need a quick lean refresher.
A quick one, yeah.
At its core, lean it seems deceptively simple. It's a management philosophy focused on creating maximum value for the customer, while ruthlessly minimizing every kind of waste in the process.
And that word ruthlessness, that's what makes it so effective. Its origin is, you're right, it's firmly planted in the Toyota production system, the TPS.
Right, back in the 40s and 50s.
Developed over decades, from the 40s to the 80s. But you see lean today in hospitals, services, and most importantly for our listener, all across software development. The whole thing rests on 5 foundational principles.
Let's walk through those 5, because everything we talk about next is built on this mindset. The first one is value.
Right.
Value, you have to strictly define what value means, and you have to do it only from the customer's perspective.
And this is where R&D often gets tripped up, In manufacturing, value is physical. It's the car you drive home.
Sure, it's tangible.
Exactly. In engineering, it's often abstract. If the customer is paying for, say, a smooth, fast checkout experience, the developer has to ask, is this extra gold-plated feature something the customer will actually pay for?
Or is it just cool to build?
Is it just intellectual gratification? If it's the latter, all that effort is waste. Simple as that.
That makes perfect sense. So once we know what value is, that brings us to the second principle, value stream.
Right. You map out every single step.
Every single one.
Every one. From idea generation through coding, testing, deployment, operation. And then you analyze each step and, again, ruthlessly remove the ones that don't add value.
And this isn't just about code bugs.
No. It's about eliminating unnecessary handoffs, pointless meetings, or those approval gates that take 3 weeks.
Okay, and the goal of removing all that waste is to achieve the third principle, which is flow.
Flow is essential. It means organizing your work so it moves smoothly, continuously through the system. No stopping.
No bottlenecks.
No bottlenecks, no interruptions. In software, this is where the waiting game just kills you.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting for test environments, waiting for a security sign-off, waiting for a build to finish. All that wait time is the enemy of flow.
This connects directly to the fourth principle, pull, which I think is often really counterintuitive to how big organizations work.
Oh, absolutely. The traditional model is push.
Right. Just push more work into the system.
If the system can handle more work, we push more work into it, whether the customer needs it or not. And that leads to huge backlogs of half-finished stuff.
In software, that's just a massive amount of work in progress, or WIP.
Exactly. Pull is the opposite. You only produce what the next step, or the customer, specifically pulls for right when they need it. This dramatically reduces the risk of building the wrong thing.
So pull protects us from building inventory. Or in our case, it protects our engineers from quietly drowning in features that aren't even ready to ship.
Precisely. And then finally, the fifth principle. This is sort of the cultural foundation for the other four. It's continuous improvement, or Kaizen.
Kaizen.
This isn't a program, it's not a specific team. It's the universal idea that everyone, every single day, contributes to making the process better step by step. If you aren't improving, you're falling behind.
Okay. So now we have the mindset. Let's move to the practical stuff. Because the sources we reviewed, they all emphasize that while the philosophy is great, the real results come from the specific non-exotic tools that actually enforce these principles. We've distilled 5 of those.
And their power is in their simplicity. Tool number 1 is value stream mapping, or VSM.
Okay, so VSM. It sounds like an activity you do once, you frame it and then you just forget about it. What exactly is it, and why should an Agile team bother?
Well, it's a visual artifact, a map of the flow of value from beginning to end. Think of it like an X-ray of your whole delivery process.
An X-ray. I like that.
And it's crucial because engineering teams, they rarely see the whole picture. They might see their coding time.
Sure, they're a piece of it.
But they miss the 3 weeks, the product idea set in a queue waiting for approval, or the 72 hours it sat waiting for a security scan.
So there's that second principle, the value stream, in action.
Exactly. When you map it, you calculate 2 critical metrics. The total lead time, so the entire time from request to delivery, and the process time.
The actual time someone is working on it.
The actual hands-on keyboard time. And for most R&D teams, that ratio is shocking. They might only be actively adding value for maybe 5% of the total lead time.
Wow.
The other 95% is pure wait state. It's waste. We call them hidden queues.
Hidden queues, that's a fantastic term for that kind of insidious waste. So VSM shows you where you're basically paying people to wait.
Pretty much.
But how do you keep that visible day to day? That leads us right to tool number 2, I think, visual management.
It does. If VSM is the X-ray, visual management is the daily dashboard. It is all about making the invisible visible.
Using visual cues.
Right. Cues to instantly show the status of work, systems, processes. The core goal is just instant understanding.
So anyone, a new team member, a stakeholder, the CEO, they should be able to just glance at a screen or a board and immediately get it without needing a report.
That's it. It removes all the guesswork. It removes all those status update meetings. In the engineering world, this means real-time monitors showing server health or capacity.
Or build pipelines.
Or highly visible dashboards showing the state of your build and deployment pipelines. Is the code green or is it red? And crucially, it means highlighting blocked items that need immediate attention, what they call stopping the line in the lean world.
I've seen teams use dashboards for deployments, but they often just become noise that people ignore. What's the lean distinction? Is it just making pretty graphs?
No. The distinction is that visual management has to trigger action. If the dashboard goes red, someone needs to react immediately. It signals a problem in real time. And this is often where Kanban boards really shine, which that leads us right to tool number 3.
Kanban. So while Kanban is a form of visual management, its real power is about organizational discipline, isn't it?
Absolutely. A Kanban board visualizes the flow, yes, but its core principle is about regulating the load. You limit your work in progress, your WIT.
And that makes the flow measurable.
Measurable and predictable. It turns it into a predictable output.
So the most important thing on a Kanban board isn't actually the list of tasks. It's that little number above the column that says WIP limit 3.
Precisely. If that limit is 3 and someone tries to move a 4th task into that column, the system forces a stop. It creates friction.
And that friction forces a conversation.
A crucial conversation about priorities. A lot of Scrum teams, they still suffer from scope creep or constant little maintenance requests that make them quietly drown mid-sprint.
I can hear the pushback already. We need this done now. Just squeeze it in. If you set a WIP limit, how do you stop stakeholders from just constantly trying to negotiate it up?
That's a fantastic practical question. And you counter that pressure with data. Data that you get from your VSM and your Kanban system.
Okay.
If you start overloading the team by ignoring that WIP limit, the average cycle time, the time for one feature to get from start to done, it will predictably skyrocket.
So you can show them.
You show them the data. You say, if we try to work on 5 things, we finish nothing. If we focus on 3, we finish them quickly and predictably. Kanban transforms the conversation from like a political argument into a data-driven prediction about delivery.
So limiting work doesn't slow you down. It actually accelerates delivery and makes it predictable.
That's a powerful argument. Let's shift back to continuous improvement. We talked about Kaizen as a principle, but tool number 4 is Kaizen in its structured, practical form, the Kaizen event.
Right. The standard Agile retrospective, that's a light form of Kaizen, a meeting to discuss what went wrong. But the Kaizen event is a deep hands-on intervention. It's designed to solve one very specific, often systemic problem.
And what's the structure of that intervention? They're structured workshops, usually running 1 to 5 days. You pull people from all the relevant domains: coding, architecture, infrastructure, operations,
The whole cross-functional team.
and you physically remove them from their day-to-day distractions.
That sounds politically difficult. How do you get management to agree to sideline critical people for an entire week?
You justify it by pointing to the massive chronic waste you found with your value stream mapping.
Okay, that makes sense.
Let's say you have a deployment process that fails all the time, or a system underperformance issue where no one can agree if the problem is the code, the database, or the network.
Yeah, the finger-pointing problem.
The Kaizen event is designed to bring the developers, the architects, the DBAs, the network engineers all together. The goal isn't discussion, it's diagnosis and immediate resolution.
So the solution isn't just documented as a list of action items to put on the backlog for next quarter.
Absolutely not. The critical difference of a true Kaizen event is that the solutions are not just discussed. They are implemented, tested, and validated immediately in the workshop.
So you don't leave until it's fixed.
The team doesn't leave until they walk out with a working improvement. This forces rapid decision-making, and it ensures the improvement actually sticks.
That is so much faster than the old, I'll open a ticket for the network team and we'll check back in 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Implement and test now. That completely changes the momentum of problem solving. And that emphasis on getting to the root of the problem, it leads us perfectly to our final and maybe most essential tool, the 5 whys.
Tool number 5, the 5 whys. It's the simplest method for root cause analysis. It just instructs you to ask why 5 times, or until you reach a cause you can actually fix.
Right, to get past the symptom.
To push past the symptoms and uncover the real underlying systemic issue.
I think we need a detailed walkthrough here because this tool is so easy to misuse if you stop too soon. Let's take a common technical failure.
Okay, let's use the example from earlier. A sprint derails. Our symptom is that feature X couldn't be released.
Okay, that's our symptom. Let's ask our first why.
Q1, why couldn't feature X be released? Answer, because the final integration testing failed and took too long to complete.
And most managers would stop right there. They'd tell the QA team to test faster. But we keep going. Second, why?
Q2, why did testing take too long? Answer, because the necessary staging environment wasn't provisioned or ready until late in the sprint.
Okay. Third, why?
Q3, why wasn't the environment ready sooner? Answer, because provisioning that environment is a complex 3-day manual process handled by the infrastructure team.
Fourth,
Q4, why is it a manual process? Answer, because the infrastructure team has never prioritized automating it.
and the fifth and final why?
Q5, why hasn't automation been prioritized? Answer, because management constantly prioritizes new feature requests over improving the infrastructure delivery pipeline.
And just like that, the root cause is funding and prioritization, not the testers being slow. The solution isn't test faster. It's a strategic decision to invest in infrastructure automation. You apply value stream mapping to the provisioning process itself. The real answer is always hidden in that deeper layer.
That's the beauty of the 5 whys. It transforms blame into a systemic problem statement, which is the only thing that leads to a lasting solution.
So let's synthesize this for the listener. We have Agile practices that give us adaptability and customer focus. Why does layering lean on top make such a dramatic difference?
The analogy we found in the sources is perfect. Agile and lean are like coffee and croissants.
I like that.
They're good alone, but they are much, much better together. Agile, with its fast feedback loops, it tells us what to build and who we are building it for. That's adaptability.
And lean, using these 5 tools, brings the clarity, the discipline, and that essential sharp eye for waste. It dictates how we build it efficiently, predictably, and without accumulating that crippling technical debt or those hidden cues.
By using VSM to see the truth, visual management to keep it visible, Kanban to limit the load, Kaizen to fix the systemic issues, and the 5 whys to find the root cause. You move beyond just surviving sprints. You start truly accelerating delivery.
The culture shifts.
It shifts from reactive firefighting to proactive, continuous learning and improvement.
So the ultimate lesson here is the power of simplicity applied consistently. These aren't exotic, high-tech algorithms or anything.
Not at all.
They are common-sense, human-centered methodologies.
Yeah.
If you can clearly visualize your work, ruthlessly limit how much you start, and enforce a disciplined process for finding root causes, you bring immense clarity and focus to even the most complex engineering organization.
And that focus is what cuts lead time. When you are focused on limiting load and eliminating waste, you shorten the time between an idea and its realization. This translates directly to lower risk for the business.
Because you can pivot faster.
You can pivot faster, respond to market changes quicker, and you realize value sooner. The simplicity of these tools is their greatest strength.
So if you're the curious learner who wants to dig deeper into the origins and application of these principles, especially in a technical context, we highly recommend the foundational texts that underpin this thinking. The Toyota Way by Jeffrey K. Leaker, Lean Thinking by James P. Womack and Daniel T. Jones.
Both classics.
Kaizen. The Key to Japan's Competitive Success by Masaki Amai, and Discovering Kanban by David J. Anderson.
Thank you for sharing your sources with us for this deep dive.
We'll catch you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Agile Engineering Deep Dive podcast. If today's episode gave you new insight into working across teams or highlighted the role of discipline in achieving real agility, feel free to share it with your colleagues or your network. You can find the full written article along with previous episodes in the Agile Software Engineering newsletter on LinkedIn. And if you have thoughts, questions, or examples from your own organization, I'd be happy to hear from you. Your experiences help shape what we explore next. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next episode.